go ahead and get to going because we have a good old flow this morning. So, welcome everyone. Appreciate you being here bright and early on this Saturday morning. It's actually a pretty Saturday morning after that nice rain that we had
Yes.
all day yesterday. So, it's nice to wake up to a beautiful Saturday morning. It's a little chilly from what I saw, but hopefully it will warm up. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Jariva. My pronouns are she and her, and I am guiding you today on about an hour Vinyasa flow. And so we will be doing a variety of things today. We will be on the floor, we will be up on our feet. But today we are doing two big things with our flow. So, one, I'm getting you ready to move into Malasana, our yogi squat. So, today we'll be doing a lot of hip openers to prepare you for yogi squat, which will be at the end of our practice. So if you do have blocks, I would recommend that you get them out. I always recommend that you use whatever props are most helpful for you as you move through your flow. Props are extremely helpful. They help to bring the floor up to you. They help you move and stretch. So if you have a strap or if you have blocks, have them handy. Also, we can do your Malasana yoga squat on a wall. So if you have a wall next to you, we get to that place. That will also be helpful. And so that is a part of our practice today. The other part of our practice is really embracing both sides of ourself, which is our masculine and feminine energy. Hatha yoga embraces that and helps us move into a balance between our masculine and feminine energy. The HA of Hatha means sun, and the THA of Hatha means moon. So the sun is representative of masculine energy. That's the active energy, the energetic, moving you forward, task oriented energy as masculine. And then the feminine, which is associated with the moon, is more of the calm, soothing, meditative, still type energy. So in today's flow, we're going to be moving through some sun salutations, which you typically do in the morning to get you energized and awakened and ready to start your day. And then you do moon salutations typically in the evening when the moon is out to ground you, to calm and still you, to prepare you for rest and to get you into a meditative state of mind. So with our theme of the month being grace, I wanted us to embrace both sides of ourselves, that active, energetic side, as well as the calm, soothing side, and embrace it and allow ourselves to be in whatever feels good to us. Now, know that we can move from different states, and maybe we want to be active and engaged, and maybe we just want to sit still. And it's a-okay. And we just want to give ourselves grace to be in whatever feels good for us, especially right now in the season where it feels like we're go, 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 because we have to get ready for Christmas and we got to go buy this and put up these decorations and get ready for family. And we're really in this very active sun type masculine, what we also call Rajas energy. And you can really get out of balance when you're just on the go, 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 go. And sometimes that shows up as you just being dead tired and just coming to a break and there's no more go left in you. And so then you move into that, what they call tamas or lethargic energy, where you just don't want to do anything. And so we really want to bring a balance and just listen to our bodies and do what our bodies are telling us that our bodies want to do. And even though we're in a very active season, we want to give ourselves grace and be mindful that it's okay to be still. It's okay to want the calm, and it's okay to be in that. So that's what we're practicing today. So, any questions about today's practice, or anyone like to check in this morning to say how they're doing on this beautiful Saturday morning? Check in. I'm energized, obviously. I've been up and did my 7 o'clock practice, and so I'm up.
You have enough for us all.
I have
I
enough
know, right?
for you all.
We still trying to wake up.
Yeah, I've been up since 6:06. So I've been up for a minute.
Well, I'm excited.
Yay.
I'm ready to go.
All right, well, cool. One thing I told the Thursday class, and I do want to be mindful of telling you all, this is your practice. So you want to do what feels good to you. I will try to cue multiple possibilities or options for you. Do what feels best in your body. I did show the class on Thursday. There is one vinyasa flow that we have in here, and we're going to be doing sun salutations, which I will make sure to let you know when we start the sun salutation and when we end it, so you're very clear about what that is. But typically we drop down into, we come into a high plank, we move into a back bend, and then we come back in downward facing dog. You always have the option, which that is called a vinyasa flow. It basically rinses our spine and prepares us for a new sequence of postures. And so when I say vinyasa flow, which again is a high plank or tabletop, dropping to your belly or coming up into upward facing dog, and then pushing back into downward facing dog. You can do that. You can just push back into downward facing dog. You can come into a child's pose. It's whatever feels good to you. So some people don't want to do drop down, so they could do cat cow instead. You can come into a tabletop at any point. When I cue high plank, you can always come into a tabletop, and then you can drop to your belly and come up into a baby cobra or high cobra. Whatever feels good for you, but just know you have options and you have possibilities. This is your practice. If something that I cue doesn't feel right, do what feels right to you, okay? So I just wanted to know that that is always an invitation, that is always on the table. This is your practice. All right, well, if there are not any questions or any more check-ins, and Mama is moving and doing her thing over there, getting ready.
Let's go. Let's go.
She's ready to go.
She's ready to go. All right. Well, I will spotlight my mat and we will get to moving. So everyone, if you're not already on your mat, move to your mat and you can come into a butterfly or bound angle if that feels good to you. If not, come into easy seat. But we're going to sit up at the top of our mat. And if it feels good to you, close your eyes. If that's not necessarily comfortable, then find a point off in the distance and maintain a soft gaze on that point. So from here, begin to focus on the breath. Begin to be present right here, right now. Awakening yourself, bringing energy into your body, aligning your body and your mind to start this day off with you, to awaken to this beautiful Saturday morning, connecting with yourself, connecting with your spirit, connecting with your soul, connecting with the breath, which is that life energy that allows you to do what you do each and every day. So move into your inhale, breathing deep, allowing it to fill up through your torso, coming up to the top, into your chest and your lungs, filling up completely, and then allowing it to release with an exhale. Again, moving into that inhale, feeling it lift up through your belly, into your sides, up into your lungs, your chest, holding there at the top. And then allowing it all to be released and let go. Taking the moment again to recognize the importance of this time. This is you. This is for you. So as we recognize the importance of this time on our mat, I would like for you to set an intention for this time. What does this time mean for you? What do you hope to gain? What do you hope to experience with this time on the mat? How do you want this time to outpicture as you move through the rest of your Saturday? So take this moment to set an intention. You can use the intention of grace, being kind and expressing goodwill to yourself, allowing yourself to be in whatever you need to be in. Or you can set another intention, whatever feels good to you. So after you've set that intention, let's seal this moment with a community breath. So with the count of 4, let's all inhale together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale it all out through our mouth. And from here, we will seal our lips and prepare to move into our practice. So if your eyes were closed, you can flare them open now. And we will start off our practice with some stretches. So if you're not in bound angle or butterfly, you can go ahead and move into that position. And from here, you can drop your hands to the mat. And we will inhale our hands up to the sky. And with the exhale, we will fold forward over those feet. Now in your forward fold, your hands may be wherever feels comfortable for you. They may be resting on the mat. They may be resting on top of your feet. They may be resting on your ankles or your legs. From here, we will begin to move over to the right. So we will bring our hands over to our right side to stretch in that left side body. Again, bending over those legs, but you'll be bent over that right calf shin. You can move back through center, coming over to the left side, bending over that left calf shin, feeling the stretch in your right side body. Being sure that those hips remain on the mat, both your right and your left. From here, come back through center and inhale your arms up to the sky and exhale them down to the mat. From here, we're going to extend our right leg out wide to the side. So you'll just stretch your right leg out to the side, and you'll bring your left leg in so that your left foot touches somewhere on your right leg, probably on your right thigh. From here, we're going to inhale our arms up to the sky and exhale, folding forward through the center. Getting that stretch, experiencing that stretch in that right hip, hamstring area. Opening up our hips, preparing us for our yogi squat. From here, inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale them, dropping them to your side. And we're going to switch out our legs. So extend that left leg out to the side. Bring that right foot in to meet your left thigh. And from here, inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, dropping them forward into a forward fold. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, dropping them to the mat. And then we're just going to extend that right leg out so you are in a big wide straddle here. Feet are flexed. And then we will inhale those arms up to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. You should really feel that stretch in those inner thighs. Again, doesn't matter how deep you are in that stretch, where your hands fall. The most important thing is that you are stretching. Again, awakening your body, preparing yourself for this day. Even getting a good stretch, feeling that in your glute and your bum area. Inhale back through center. Exhale, releasing those hands to your side. And from here, you can bring your legs together, move them around to the side so that you come up into your tabletop position. So tabletop is just that. You are making a tabletop with your body. So your shoulders are directly over your wrist. Your hips are directly over your knees. Your back is straight. Your spine is long. So from here, we're going to do some hip circles. So you can start either way, but I'm going to start clockwise. So I'm going to move my hips over to the right, drop them down towards my feet, bring them over to the left, and then dip forward. Circling out those hips, preparing them for our practice, and just getting them moving and grooving, preparing them for the day. You can do this as slow or as fast as you want. But when you get to the top of your circle, reverse it. So go the opposite direction. Really moving those hips, dipping them down, bringing them forward. This will be our last one. And when you come to the top of your circle, come back into your neutral tabletop. From here, we will then do some head circles. So again, you can start either direction. I'm going to start clockwise. But from here, make sure your spine or your neck is long. And begin to circle, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder, bringing your head all the way back, bringing your left ear to the left shoulder, dropping it down to the front so it's heavy. And doing this full circle of your neck, of your head, as fast or as slow as you would like. And when you're at the top of your circle, reverse it. And with your final circle, coming to some stillness back into your neutral tabletop. From here, you're going to flip your hands so your palms will remain on the mat, but your fingertips will come back towards you. Just flipping your hands, preparing your wrist for the day, and you can stay here still, just stretching out those wrists in this way, or you can rock a little bit back and forth. Please don't be too aggressive in this move. We don't want to hurt ourselves, but we want to wake up those hands, wake up those wrists. They do so much for us. So we really want to stretch them out and prepare them for the day. When you are done, we are going to now flip our wrist palms facing up to us, but you're going to turn your fingertips in towards one another. So palms up to the sky, fingertips facing in, your thumbs will be facing to the top of the mat. And from here, you can stay here or you can rock side to side. Really stretching out all parts of our body, getting ourselves ready, not only for our practice, but for the rest of our Saturday. From here, you can come to some stillness, bring your hands back to their normal tabletop position. And we will extend that right leg out so that our toes are on the mat behind us and that leg is long. We will press, sending that heel back towards the back wall, really engaging in that calf, stretching out that calf, stretching out that foot, stretching out those toes. And then you can begin to rock back and forth on that right foot, coming up to your tippy toes, coming down to the ball of your foot, waking up that right leg, and then come to some stillness, drop that heel down to the mat, and then sweep that right arm up to the sky for a kneeling side plank. From here, we're going to do some rotations of our arms, so some circles. So you're going to drop that lifted arm back so that your hand comes to the back left corner of your mat. You will sweep it forward so your hand comes up to the top right corner of your mat. And we will continue to do that. So drop it to the back, Sweep it forward, making circles with your arms, waking up those shoulders. We'll do that one more time. And then come to some stillness with your arm lifted back up to the sky in your kneeling side plank. And then we will drop that hand down to the mat, bring that right knee in, coming back to our neutral tabletop. Extend that left foot out, those left toes on the mat. Then push back into the ball of your foot. So you're sending all your energy, shooting all your energy to the back wall through that left heel, really stretching out that left calf, awakening it up for the day. Then begin to rock back and forth on that foot, moving from the tips of your toes through the ball of the foot. Come to some stillness. Drop that heel to the mat, and then lift that left arm up to the left or kneeling side plank to the left. So we will do those arm rotations, but this time we will drop that lifted arm back to the right back corner of our mat, sweep it up and forward to the left top corner of our mat, send it back to the back right corner of our mat, sweep it up and forward to the left top corner of our mat, and do that 2 more times. Awakening that left shoulder. And then coming back up through center, holding here for a moment. Then dropping that left hand down to the mat, bringing that left knee in. All right, from here, we're going to move into cat-cows. So with your cat-cow, you're going to inhale, dropping that belly down to the mat, bringing your chin and your tailbone up to the sky. For your cow, you will then exhale, sending the back of your heart up to the sky, dropping your chin and your tail down for cat. Inhale, bringing your chin and your tailbone up to the sky, your belly down to the mat for cow. Tuck in your chin, your tailbone, lifting the back of the heart to the sky for cat. Do that 3 more times at your own pace. And we will come, when you're done with that last round, to a neutral tabletop. From here, you will tuck in your toes and lift your tailbone up and back for your first downward facing dog. And here you can pedal out your feet. You can bend deeply into those knees. Get yourself settled, feeling good in your first downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, tailbone is up and high. Your hands are rooted firmly into your mat. Your torso is moving back towards your thighs. Your shoulders are broad, moving away from your ears. Your gaze is towards the back of your mat. Your feet can be lifted or they can be on the mat. Your legs can be bent or they can have a micro bend. From here, we will shift forward into a high plank, which is the top of a push-up. In your high plank, your hips should be even with the rest of your body, not dip down too low or lifted too high. Of course, in your high plank, you have the option to always move into your tabletop. From here, we will come forward into our tippy toes and lower all the way down to our mat. From here, untuck your toes, push into the tops of your feet, lifting your knees off of the mat, and begin to shine your heart forward, lifting up into a baby cobra. In your baby cobra, remember to engage your core, push through the tops of those feet, lift that heart up, and place little to no weight in your hands. Release down to the mat. And from here, you're going to move your hands directly out to the side, about 10 to 12 inches, where they're going to come off of your mat onto the ground for a wide cobra. Again, you're going to engage in the tops of those feet, lifting those knees off of the mat, and push up, bringing your torso up off the mat, not all the way up, but you're a little bit more than baby cobra. And from here, we're going to do some shoulder dips. So you're going to drop your right shoulder down, look over your left elbow, come back up through center, drop that left shoulder down, looking over that right elbow or that right shoulder. Come back through center. We'll do that one more time each side. Drop that right shoulder down, looking up to the right side, or the left side, excuse me. Come back through center. Drop that left shoulder down, looking up through the right side. Come back through center. From here, we will drop our torso all the way down to the mat. Bring our hands back underneath our shoulders. Tuck in our toes. Push up through our high plank or tabletop. Hold here for a moment. And then push back into our downward facing dog. From here, you will bring your gaze to the top of the mat. You will bend in your knees, and you can take either some small steps, a couple of big steps, or you can float to the top of your mat in a forward fold. From here, you will halfway lift, which is making a number 7 with your body. Your hands can be on the mat, your ankles, your shins. Your back is flat. Your spine is long. Your gaze is out 2 to 3 feet. Drop into your forward fold. In your forward fold, your torso is coming back to your thighs. You can have a micro bend in your legs, or they can be bent significantly. From here, we will circle sweep, inhaling our arms up to the sky in a high mountain pose. And then bring your hands together and exhale them down into hands at heart center or prayer. So take this moment to close your eyes if that feels good, and reconnect with your breath, reconnect with your intention, the intention that you set as we started practice. And from here, we're going to move into our sun salutations, stoking up that fire, engaging that energy, and awakening ourselves up to this Saturday morning. So we're going to do 3 sun salutations. We will move slowly through the first, and then we will move a little quicker through the next 2. So inhale your arms up to the sky for high mountain pose. Exhale, diving forward into your forward fold. Inhale, coming up into your halfway lift, which is at number 7 with your body. Exhale into your forward fold. Plant your hands into your mat, and you can hop, step, or jump back into your high plank. If you need to, drop to your tabletop. Come down into chaturanga, or belly to the mat, or some form of cat-cow. Come up into your baby cobra or a cobra, or upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, your whole lower body is lifted off the mat. Only the tops of your feet and your hands are touching the earth. And then from here, push back into your downward facing dog. Bring your gaze forward, bend in your knees, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat in a forward fold. Inhale into a halfway lift, making that number 7 with your body. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale those arms up, coming up into your high mountain. And then exhale your hands into heart center. All right, so that was Sun Salutation A. All those postures were part of the sequence that is called Sun Salutation A. So the second time, we will do it a little bit quicker. Inhale your arms up to the sky for high mountain. Exhale for forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift, number 7 with your body. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands into the mat. Hop, step, or jump back into your high plank or tabletop. Lower down halfway, all the way to the mat. Come up into your back bend of choice. Push back into downward facing dog. From here, bring your gaze forward, bend in your knees, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat in a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale, circle sweeping your arms up to the sky for high mountain. Exhale, hands at heart center. All right, one more time. You can do this at your own pace. You know the moves. I will still call them out, and I will probably go a little bit quicker. All right, inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hop, step, or float back to your high plank. Come down, back bend of choice. Push back into your downward facing dog. Gaze forward, bend in the knees. Hop, step, or float to the top of the mat for a forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale for forward fold. Inhale, coming up into your high mountain. Exhale, hands through heart center. All right, reconnect with that breath. Reconnect with that intention. All right, inhale your arms up to the sky for high mountain. And then exhale, sitting your hips back and down into chair. Tucking in that tailbone, making sure that when you look down, you can see the tops or your toe, you can see your toes. They can be apart or they can be touching. The most important thing is that you can see them and you're sitting back in your heels. From here, send your arms back for airplane. Your pinkies are facing in, your palms are facing down. Come back through center, arms up to the sky. Drop that right arm back, bring that left arm forward for a twist to your right. Make sure that your knees are still even. One should not be in front of the other. Inhale those arms back up to the sky. Then twist over to your left, dropping that left arm back, right arm forward, knees parallel. Come back up through center, and then fold forward into your forward fold. Plant your hands into the mat. Step your left foot back so that you're in a low runner's lunge. From here, bring your left hand towards your right foot, plant it firmly into the mat, and inhale your right arm up to the sky for a twist to the right. Now, when you bring your right hand down, bring it to the inside of your right foot. So both hands are directly next to each other. And then heel toe your right foot out to the right corner or right side of your mat. Drop your back knee down to the mat, untuck your toe, and you are now in a lizard lunge. A great hip opener. Now, if you really want to feel even deeper in that hip opener, you will drop down to your forearms. Now, you can remain here, that's just fine. But if you want to get a little deeper in that hip opener, come down to your forearms. That may mean that your right foot goes out a little wider, or you are on the right outer edge of your right foot. That is a-okay. From here, if you are on your forearms, push back up onto your palms of your hands. And from here, we will begin to sit ourselves back, extending that right leg out to a half splits to the right side. That right foot will be flexed. Those toes will be pulling back towards you. From here, we will come onto our fingertips, making sure that our back is straight and long. And then you can begin to fold forward so that you really feel that stretch in that right leg, especially in that right hamstring. Be sure that you're not locking out that right leg. You have some form of bend in that leg. And also make sure that your hips are parallel to the top of the mat. So that may mean that you need to shift your right hip back and bring that left hip forward. From here, you'll bring your gaze up, begin to bend into that front leg, and then heel toe it into the center of your mat with your hands framing that right foot. Tuck in those left toes, lift that left knee off of the back of the mat, or off the mat, and then step that left foot forward to meet the right at the top of the mat in a forward fold. From here, you will halfway lift, you will forward fold, and then you will circle sweep your arms up to the sky for high mountain. And then you're going to drop those hips back and down to go into your chair. Again, make sure that tailbone is tucked slightly, it's not flared out. You're sitting back in your chair, you're able to see your toes, you are back into your heels. Airplane those arms back, palms to the earth, pinkies in. Come back up, hands extended up to the sky. This time, drop your left arm back, right arm forward for a twist to the left, making sure that those knees are even. Bring that left arm up so that both hands are lifted to the sky. Drop that right arm back, left arm forward for a twist to the right, knees even. Bring that back arm up, lifting those hands back up to the sky. Release, dropping forward into your forward fold. Plant your hands into the mat, step that right foot back for a low lunge. Place that right hand directly next to the left, root it firmly into the mat, and lift that left arm to the sky for a twist to the left. From here, bring that lifted left hand down inside that left foot, and then begin to heel toe that left foot out to your left edge of your mat. Drop that back knee down to the mat, untuck those back toes so that you are in your lizard lunge. From here, you can stay on the palms of your hands, lift it in this way. Or if you would like, you can come down to your elbows, to your forearms for a variation of the lizard lunge. Again, in this variation, you may need to move that left foot out wider, or you may be on the left edge of your left foot. That is a-okay. Head should be long, your gaze should be down to the mat. Not head should be long, but neck should be long. If you are on your forearms, lift back up to your hands and begin to send your hips back, straightening that front leg for a half splits to the left. Tent up on those fingertips for a straight back, and then release down to fold, feeling that stretch in your left hamstring and your left leg. Be sure that that foot is flexed and those hips are centered to the top of your mat. Bend, bring your gaze forward and bend back in that front extended leg. Heel toe the foot in, so it's in the center of your mat, and your hands are framing that left foot. Tuck in those right toes. Lift that right knee off of the mat so you're back in your low runner's lunge. And this time, we're going to move through a high plank, do our Vinyasa flow, and all meet back in downward facing dog. So that means shoot your left foot back to meet your right. In high plank, you can drop into a tabletop. You can lower all the way down to the mat or chaturanga, half push up. Come up into your back bend, a choice, baby cobra, cobra, upward facing dog. Push back into downward facing dog. From here, bring your gaze forward, bending your knees, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat in a forward fold. You will halfway lift and forward fold. From here, we are going to bring our left foot back for our low runner's lunge. Drop our left heel down to the mat, angle our toes up at a 45-degree angle to the left top corner of our mat. Remain bent in that front leg, straight in the back, and rise up into warrior one. Bringing our hands up to the sky, making sure that front leg is bent 90 degrees or less. That back leg is straight. You're engaged in both legs. That front hip, that right hip should be sent back a little bit, left hip brought forward so we have a neutral pelvis. From here, you're going to rotate open into your warrior two. So that means that that right knee may go out a little bit to the right, but you're still in that 90-degree angle or less in that front leg. Your hips are open up to the left. Your arms are out to a T. Your gaze is out over your extended front hand. and your torso is directly over your hips. From here, you will flip your front palm and lift it up and back for a peaceful warrior. That back hand will rest somewhere on that back leg. From here, you're going to bring that back hand through and up, moving into your warrior one. Bring your hands down into heart center, and we're going to move into warrior three. I will cue this for you. Now remember, you do that which is within your body. So you may just have your toes still on the earth. They may be slightly lifted, or you may be making a letter L with your body. It's whatever feels good to you. So from here, we're going to begin to tilt forward, bending into that front leg, then straightening that front leg, lifting that back leg, coming into a warrior three. You want to open up that chest to the front. You should be a letter L. That back foot should be flexed. Again, you can have your toe on the earth, or it can be barely lifted. You could wobble. It is A-okay. You could fall. It's A-okay. From here, slowly bend down, dropping that foot to the mat, and turn your whole body to the left side of your mat, coming into a star pose. From here, bring your hands into heart center, and then kind of dip into your right knee and bring your right foot to meet your left at the back of the mat. For hands at heart center, feet together. So now we're going to move into our moon salutation. So from here, inhale your arms up into a high mountain. Interlace your fingers. Turn your palms up to the sky. And stretch tall, shooting that energy up through your arms to the crown of your head up to the sky. Bend over to the right side to get that stretch into your left side body. Come back through center and bend over to that right or left side to get that stretch in your right side. Come back through center. Bring your arms out to a T. Step that right foot out so you're back into a wide step to the side of your mat. From here, we're going to drop down into goddess pose. So make sure that your toes are out, your heels are in, and you can go push your arms, but drop your knees down, sit into a goddess pose squat. Get deep in that squat, so go down as far as you can in this goddess pose squat. From here, come back up, straightening up those legs. Bring your arms out to the T. Then turn towards the front of your mat where your left or where your right toes are at the front of your mat and your back foot is angled like you're going into triangle, which is what we're going to do. So your back foot is angled at a 45-degree angle. You will tilt forward and you will bring your arm down to the mat, a block, your ankle or your shin. That top arm will be lifted up to the sky directly over the bottom arm for triangle. From here, bring that lifted arm down to frame that front foot. Lift up to on the ball of that back foot. Then drop your head down, bringing your torso to that right thigh for pyramid pose. Shift forward so that you're in a low runner's lunge. Drop that back knee down to the mat. Untuck your toe. and lift yourself up into low crescent lunge. From here, drop your hands back down to the mat. Tuck in your toes, lift that back leg up off the mat. Then begin to bring your hands over to the left side of your mat, but we're going to stop in the center. So when your hands get into the center, we're going to move into skandasana. So that means you're going to bend deeply into that left leg, and that right, or excuse me, your right leg, your left leg will be extended long with your foot flexed up to the sky. From here, you will straighten that front leg, move your hands over to the left, so you can do a skandasana to the left. So that left leg will be bent, that right leg will be extended, the right foot will be up to the sky. You will be on that right heel. From here, you will begin to rotate to the back of your mat, facing the back of the mat in a low runner's lunge. You will drop that back knee, untuck those toes, come up into a low crescent lunge to the back of your mat. Drop those hands to frame that foot to the back of your mat. Tuck in those toes. Lift that right knee off of the mat. Begin to straighten that left leg, coming into your pyramid pose to the back of the mat. That right heel is lifted. You want to drop it down to the mat so that that right foot is angled at 45-degree angle so that you can move into your pyramid. So you can place that left hand on the block, the mat, your ankle or shin, but you're going to inhale that right arm up to the sky for your triangle pose. From here, you will begin to lift up, bringing yourself up into a T-star to the left side of your mat. Shift your heels in, toes out. Go post your arms, come back into your goddess squat. From here, you're going to come back up, straightening those legs, bend into that right knee and shoot it over to meet your left at the back of the mat. Inhale your arms up to the sky for high mountain. Interlace your hands, palms facing up to the sky. Stretch tall. Shift over to your right. Come back through center. Shift over to your left. Come back through center. Unlace your hands or your fingers and drop your hands into heart center. All right, so that was our moon salutation. We're going to do that one more time to the back of our mat, and then we'll move into some core work before we move into our final resting pose. So from here, we're going to step your left foot to the left side so that you are facing the back of your mat. So from this pose, you're going to step your right foot back, dropping that heel down to the mat, angling those toes up at a 45-degree angle, and bring those hands up to the sky for a warrior one. Again, that front knee is bent, 90-degree angle or less. Back leg is straight, hips are neutral, facing towards the back of your mat. Open up into your warrior two, meaning your arms come out to a T. Your hips are open up to what is now the right side of your mat. Your left knee may sway open a little bit, but your torso is directly over your hips. Your gaze is out long over that front hand. Flip that front palm, move back into your reverse warrior. From here, bring that hand that's resting on the back leg through and up to move back into your warrior one. So your arms are lifted up to the sky. Your torso is facing to the back of the mat. Your hips are parallel to the back of the mat. From here, drop your hands into hands at heart center. And we're going to shift forward into our warrior three. Again, do what feels comfortable for you. Most important thing is you're going to begin to shift forward, bending in that front knee, then coming up, straightening it, lifting that back leg as far as you need to for your warrior three. You can make a number L with your body, or the letter L with your body. Your back foot will be flexed. From here, slowly bring your foot down to the mat, turning your body to the right side of the mat for a star. And from here, you can begin to shift into that left knee, bringing that left foot to meet the right to the top of your mat. Your arms are still lifted. From here, you can interlace your fingers, flip your palms up to the sky, stretching long through your body. Shift over to the left. Come back through center. Shift over to the right. Come back through center. Unclasp the hands. And then step your left foot out to come into a star with the arms at a T. From here, angle your heels in. Bring your arms to go post arms and drop down into your goddess pose. Shoot back up into your star with your arms out to a T. Turn over to the back of your mat with your left leg straight. Your right foot should be angled at a 45-degree angle. And from here, we move into our triangle. So shift forward, bring that left hand down to the mat, ankle or shin, the right arm up to the sky. Bring the right hand to frame the left foot at the back of the mat. Lift the left heel off of the mat so that you're on the ball of your right foot. And release your head down, folding over that extended front leg or pyramid. Move into a runner's lunge at the back of your mat. Drop that back knee, untuck the toes, and lift those arms up to the sky for a low crescent lunge. Bring those hands down to the mat. Tuck in that right foot. Lift that right knee off of the mat. Begin to bring those hands over to the right side of your mat and move into a skandasana, bending deeply into that left leg, lifting the right foot off of the mat, flexing it with that right heel on the mat. Straighten those legs, moving your hands over to the right, bending into that right knee, flexing that right foot into Skandasana to the right. From here, begin to shift, moving into a runner's lunge to the front of your mat. Drop that back knee, your left knee to the mat, untuck your left toes, lift up into a low crescent lunge. Drop your hands back to the mat, tuck in those left toes, lift that left knee off of the mat, and begin to shift back so that you're in that pyramid. From here, drop that back heel to the mat, angle those back toes up at a 45-degree angle. Place that right hand to the mat, the ankle or your shin. Lift that left arm up to the sky for triangle. From here, begin to lift yourself up, coming into a star to the side of the mat, arms out to a T. Shift those heels in, toes out, lower down to your goddess with goalpost arms. From here, come back up, straighten those legs, shift into that left knee, bringing that left foot to meet the right at the top of your mat. Shoot those arms up to the sky. Interlace those fingers with those palms up to the sky. Stretch tall. Lean over to your left. Come back through center. Lean over to your right. Come back through center. Unclasp your fingers and bring them down into heart center. All right, so now we're going to move into our Malasana squat. So step your right foot over to the right so that you're facing the top of your mat. From here, you may want to grab your blocks. So you can grab both of them, you can grab one. But you're probably going to want to set them somewhere where you think your butt will fall when you come down into a squat. All right, so from here, we're going to have our hands at heart center, our feet, our toes are going to be out, our heels are going to be in, your feet are going to be about mat width apart, so they should be on the edge of each side. And from here, you're going to sit down. So you're just going to come down, squat down, until you're in your yogi squat. Now, hopefully you have landed on your blocks. If you're using blocks. If you're not using blocks, you can use a wall. So you can sit on a wall, back against the wall, and squat down that way. If you are in your yogi squat, your backs of your arms, so the tops of your arms should be pushed in to your shins. Your hands should be in heart center, and you should be as straight as possible in your back, your heart opened up to the front, your gaze is out. This is your yogi squat. This is a very grounding squat. This brings you down to the earth. This just calm and center you and move you into a meditative state. From here, you will drop your hands to the mat if you are in the squat position, and you will begin to lift up so that you are in a fold. If you have blocks on the mat, you can move them out of your way, up and out, because we're going to do some things on the mat where our hands will be out to a T, so you want to move them out. And then from here, we are going to step back into a high plank or a tabletop, and then lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes, and from here, move your arms out to a T. All right, so we're going to do a shoulder stretch from here. So what's going to happen is you're going to roll over so that you're on your right side, but your heart is going to come up through the left. So you're going to roll so that you're on your right edge of your body. That left leg will be lifted. Place the left foot on the mat behind your right leg. So your left knee should be bent up to the sky. You want to be on your right side body. You do not want to be past your right. You should be on the right edge of your body. From here, you can lower your head down to the mat and stretch that right shoulder. Come back through center, so drop everything back down to the mat. And we're going to do that on the other side. So coming onto the left edge, rotating the right to the right, opening your heart to the right, dropping that right foot down behind that left leg, right knee up to the sky. On that left edge of your body, really feeling that stretch in that left shoulder. Come back through center. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And then what we will do, so I'm going to cue this first before we actually do it. So we're going to move into pigeon. If pigeon is not calling your name today, you can always flip onto your back and do figure four stretch. I will cue both for you. All right, so hands back underneath our shoulders, tuck in your toes, lift up through plank. So you can go into a tabletop if you want to see the options. From here, in your plank, bring that right knee forward so that it's directly behind your right wrist. Your leg is bent. Your right foot is flexed. You will then come down onto your left leg so that it's extended out long directly behind you. You will look back to make sure that the leg is directly behind you. This is pigeon. Now, if this is not calling your name today, your other option is to come onto your back. You're in constructive rest pose. Lift your right leg up, cross it over your left thigh, then interlace your hands behind your left calf or bring it, or behind your left thigh or bring it to your calf, and pull your left leg into your body. That's figure four. Stretch is the same as pigeon. So those are your options. From here in your pigeon, you can remain up high, or you can come down onto your forearms or rest on the mat. If your right hip is not coming down to the mat and that's uncomfortable, you can always place a block or a towel underneath that right hip for support.
So we will sit here for a couple of breaths. This is a great hip opener. We are thanking our hips for all the work that they did today, sending them love, stretching them out. So if you are in some form of recline, in your pigeon, come up to your palms. If you are a figure four, you can uncross your legs and release your feet down to the mat. Pigeon, tuck in your back toe, lift your knee off the ground, and bring your right leg back to meet the left in your high plank. From here, bring your left knee behind your left wrist, making sure that left leg is bent, that left foot is flexed. Drop down onto that right leg, making sure it's extended out long, directly behind you. And you can stay here, or you can move into some form of recline on your forearms or with your forehead resting on the mat or on your hands in crocodile. If you are on your back, you can lift that left leg up to the sky, cross that left ankle over that right thigh, interlace those hands behind that right thigh or place them on the right shin. Pull that right leg into your body for that stretch on the other side. Again, if you are in pigeon and that left hip is not coming down to the mat and that is uncomfortable for you and you would like to bring the earth up to you, you can use a block or a rolled up towel, blanket to place underneath that lifted hip to give you added support. From here, if you are down, come up onto your palms. If you are on your back, uncross your legs, release them, uncross your legs, bring your feet down to the mat, and you can have your knees up to the sky. You can remain there. For if you're in pigeon, tuck in your back toe, lift up your knee off the mat, bring that bent leg to meet the back, drop down into your tabletop, shift your legs over to the side, and come down on your bum. And we'll all meet in that constructive rest pose. So feet planted firmly on the mat, knees up to the sky, lower your back down to the mat. So from here, we're going to move into a quick core workout. So from here, I want you to straighten your legs out so that you should be extended long on the mat. And your hands will be directly alongside you, palms facing down. Or if it feels more comfortable, you can slide your hand under your bum. So from here, we're going to do flutter kicks for 10 seconds. So that means that you are going to lift your legs off of the mat, about probably a foot off the mat or less, and we're going to flutter kick. So you're going to lift your legs up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest. All right, this time 10 seconds. Flutter kicks in and out. Ready, lift up, in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. release. Bring your feet in so that your knees are pointed up, and then lift your feet up to the ceiling for waterfall. Have a micro bend in your knee so that your lower back remains on the floor. Bring your hands up towards the sky. Bring them together, and your middle to pinky finger you will interlace. Your index fingers will remain touching, pointed up to the sky, and then you can interlace your thumbs. So we're in a steeple grip. From here, you're going to lift up in crunches for 10 seconds. We will start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, good to go. Release your hands, bringing them out to a T to your sides. Bend your knees at a 90-degree angle. Shift your hips a little bit over to the left and drop your knees over to the right for a supine twist. Bring your gaze over to the left and stretch it out. You can close your eyes if that feels good. All right, reopen those eyes, bring those knees through center, shift those hips a little bit over to the right, drop those knees over to the left, bring your gaze over to the right. You can close those eyes if that feels good. Come back through center. From here, you can do whatever feels good, whatever's calling your body. I'm going to move into happy baby, but you can do waterfall. You can go straight into your shavasana, but we're going to only stay here for a couple of breaths before we move into shavasana. If you're doing happy baby, your legs will be bent out wide, coming in towards your armpits. You can grab on the outer edge of your feet, your ankles, somewhere on your shin, pulling in those feet, really pushing in that back into the mat. When you are ready, you can move into your version of Shavasana. That may be legs extended out long on the mat, falling out wide, toes, feet relaxed, arms out to your side, palms facing up. That may mean placing a pillow or a rolled up blanket underneath your head while you're laying long on the mat. That may be sitting up, sitting in a chair, sitting with your back against the wall. Whatever feels comfortable to you, whatever is calling your name, do that now. If it feels good, close your eyes. If it feels more comfortable to gaze off in the distance, please do so now. But take this time to be still, to allow yourself to just be present, to allow what you've experienced in this practice to soak in. And when it's time to move out of this rest, I will call you back to the here and now.
So begin to reawaken to the here and now, letting your body come slowly back to this space, to this time. Help it do so by beginning to wiggle your fingers, your toes, maybe circle your ankles, your wrist, nod your head from side to side, yes and no. Maybe bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a big hug, a big thanks for moving you through this morning's practice and moving you through the rest of your Saturday. Rock in this embrace and then begin to roll over to whatever side is calling your name, cradling your head with your bottom arm, using your top arm to plant into the mat, grounding you to Mother Earth. When you're ready, push up into a seated position. Bringing your hands into heart center. Giving thanks for this time to embrace you just as you are, knowing that you represent both the masculine and feminine within yourself, and you are open and receptive to what serves you, and allowing yourself to experience that, and extending goodwill to yourself when you don't. So I thank you for allowing me to guide you in today's practice. I thank you for allowing me to provide you with time to practice grace. And I close this practice with the divine in me recognizes, celebrates, and honors the divine in you. Ashe, and so it is. Thank you. All right, folks. We are done. Anything anyone likes to share before we end today's session and move into the rest of our beautiful Saturday?
Thanks.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. We'll talk to you guys later if there's not anything else that we want to discuss.
All righty. Bye.
All right. Bye. Have a good one.
You too.